get in the car and he goes, it's so funny how mad you got when those girls were hitting on me.
So he drives us to the movie theater. We get in there. There's no one else in the theater. He wasn't like creepy or inappropriate or anything. He like put his hand on my leg and that was like the extent of it.
Then he closes the blinds as he sees it. I'm like trying to peep through. And I'm like, what the heck is going on?
When you go to that bathroom next time, make sure it's actually towards the exit door to the bathroom at your house and never see him again.
Oh no!
This guy I went on a date with locked me out in his balcony at his apartment in DC.
That is never a good way to start a story, but we're all ears.
Well, I've been on a couple dates with this guy, so we ended up having like a movie night at his place. Actually, I was there so he can cook for me. Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. He cooks for me and we're like watching a movie while we eat. And then I hear like a move of emotion or something coming from the bathroom. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, did you hear that? Something literally just like moved or like a door opened. It felt like someone was already inside the apartment with us. So he gets up and he's like, let me check. So he goes into the bathroom and he comes back and he's like, oh, do you want to go to the balcony? And I'm thinking he said, do you want to go to the bathroom? I'm like, no, I don't. I'm good here. And he was like, no, we're going to go to the balcony. So he goes to the balcony, locks me outside in the freaking balcony. It is cold. He locks me there and he's like, just be here for a few minutes. I'm like, huh?
It must be another woman because ain't no way. If it was a first date, obviously I'll be saying, why are you in this guy's house? Or why are you in this woman's house? But they've been on dates, so whatever.
This man is walking around in circles and like he looks like he's like panicking or something. And I'm like, what is going on? And mind you, I don't have my phone outside with me. I don't have anything on with me but like a t-shirt and some shorts. Like that's all I had with me. And like I'm over here thinking this shit is a joke. I'm over here thinking like this man is about to surprise me or something. He's like, oh, just be out in my balcony in the cold and then like, you can come back in like 2 minutes. I'm over here thinking he's trying to surprise me.
In the balcony? If there's a surprise coming your way, he could have put you in the room, in the restroom, in the kitchen with your eyes closed. The balcony? If it's not his mother, it is another woman.
Then he closes the blinds as he sees it. I'm like trying to peep through. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? So a couple minutes later, like 5 minutes later, after being stuck outside in the cold, he comes outside and he's like, kind of like, I don't know, like this man is like staring into sunset. And I'm like, what the heck just happened? Like, you just locked me outside in your balcony in the cold with no shoes on. What is going on? He's like, oh, it's nothing, and it's nothing. I'm like, no, it is something. Like, your entire demeanor changed the moment I mentioned there was like a crack or like I heard a motion in your house. And in my mind, I'm like, does someone live here? Does someone else live here? Like, have you been locking them in the bathroom for so long? Like, what is going on? So he didn't want to tell me, and I was like, you know what, like, I'm gonna go because it's just so weird how, like, you don't want to tell me or be honest about the situation. I don't know you that well enough for me to be angry or whatever you have going on, but I was like, just be honest. And we got back in, like, his in, like, the living room, and I was like, what's going on? He didn't want to tell me, and all of a sudden, this guy had, like, 3 phones, and I was like, what the heck? Was he pimping out girls or something? Like, what was going on? He was like checking his 3 phones and everything. I was like, what is going on? Be honest. And he was like, oh, I can't tell you. And then he was like, oh, like you just came at the wrong time. In my mind, I'm like, either like this guy's having a bad trip or something, or he's like a drug dealer and he has like, his clients come to his house because he worked for politics. Don't date any guy that works on the Hill or something. Don't date any guy in DC that works on the Hill, first of all. Oh, can I walk you down? I was like, no, I'm good. Like, you can't walk me down to, like, my Uber or anything. I'm good until you're going to be honest with me. He was like, this is just a bad day. He was like, I promise I'll tell you. This is for, like, 15 minutes. This guy's, like, walking around in circles in his apartment for 15 minutes. I'm like, okay, as I leave, I turn to my left. There's like a girl walking away. I'm like, maybe that's like his ex or something. I don't know. It was so weird. And y'all, I had to stay to figure out what the plot was. My friends was like, girl, you better stay. We need to figure out why he really did what he did. So he texted me like 2 days later. And I was like, 2 days is enough for you to come up with the perfect lie to tell me. But I was going to be seated and listen to what he had to say because we're nosy as fuck. He some like bullshit excuse and saying like it's someone he used to date and they used to live together, and like I don't know, like he didn't know how like she still had access to the apartment and everything. I felt like that was bullshit. And also he's Nigerian, well, Nigerian by penetration, so all you people that swear that I don't date people of color, here you go, another situation. I was like, yeah, that was a lie. But I still kept him around for the plot. And then one other time he lied to me about having like 3 phones. He was like, I don't have 3 phones. I don't have 3 phones. I was like, oh, you have a 3rd phone. And he was like, I don't have a 3rd phone. He was lying to me for like 5 minutes about having a 3rd phone. I was like, yes, you do. And I said, you have like a red iPhone. And he was like trying to make a joke about it. And like, you know, what do I expect from a guy that locked me out in his balcony? Nothing. But yeah, that was kind of the moment where I stopped talking to him. Tell me what you guys think. Do you guys think it was a truth or it was a lie about him locking me out, or like the whole situation because his ex came and like he claimed that she was depressed or something like that? Let me know what you guys think, because after that I kind of just cut him off. And yeah, but don't date guys in DC. This is why I don't date black guys or Nigerian guys, okay? Or Nigerian by penetration.
The way I'm so nosy, see, you're not nosy enough for me. You're not nosy enough. The way I would have scrammed towards that direction to figure out what is happening, but then a part of me is like, I'll just keep my peace and walk out. I would have done one of the 2 things. One thing I'm not doing, staying and waiting for the plot. We don't have time for this. We're growing up, life keeps going, and we can't stay in situations where we have to nag and ask somebody what they doing, who they're with, what is that. That's too much. If they can't tell you there and then, go back home, cook yourself dinner, order dinner, go outside, get some fresh air, something, but being in a house with a man that's gonna lock you in the balcony and then not be honest with you, it's too much.
At this point, you guys know so much of my lore, but there are some insane stories that I still have not told you. This happened during summer 2020 when I was home after my sophomore year of college ended. I was bored out of my mind and I downloaded Tinder. I tell you guys all the time how much I hate dating apps and how I'll never use them, and this story is a big reason why.
So you download Tinder out of all of them? I mean, which one is better, really? I can't relate, so I just sit back and watch these stories with you. But I know Tinder is not the greatest pick.
Obviously, I was not really taking this seriously. I wouldn't really even meet anyone off the app. But this one guy, I don't know, maybe I thought he was really cute or I liked our conversation, but I decided to meet him. This was in the SF Bay Area, so we went to a place called Castro in downtown Mountain View and we got Starbucks. I remember he paid for my little $5 pink drink, and this impressed me so much. I was like, oh my god, this guy's a gentleman. In my defense, my first boyfriend left
The bare necessities, the secret. Oh my gosh, you opened the door. The guy's such a gentleman. The bar is in hell.
the bar very low. Well, I remember having a great time with this guy. We were together for like 2 to 3 hours just walking around. Conversation was flowing great. So at this point, we've been talking for a couple of weeks when we decide to meet for a 3rd date. And I suggest a drive-in movie. The nearest drive-in theater was 20 minutes away in San Jose. I had a minivan, so I said that I would drive. I packed snacks, I loaded the back with blankets and pillows. He drives over to my house, parks in the next street over, and then I pick him up in my minivan and we start driving. I remember we were having so much fun, we didn't even watch the movie, so to this day, I don't even remember what movie this was. After the movie ended, we're just kind of looking at each other and it's very clear that we're about to kiss. Guys, I can't stop laughing. So I lean in and we kiss. Except for, that was the worst kiss of my life. This man did not know how to kiss, but he's like, no, like teach me how you like it. So I was sitting in the back of my minivan teaching this man how to kiss like I was 12 years old. I got the ick so expeditiously, my lady boner was gone. After that, I was like, okay, it's getting late, time to drive home. I think he could sense that I was suddenly no longer into him, but I did not care, I just wanted to get home. We start driving, it's quite dark and quite late.
I mean, to be fair, if he's asking you to teach him, I think that's not bad. Your standards were already on the floor. The least you could do is teach a guy how to kiss if you were really interested in him. Who knows? That could have been your husband. You never know. You never know. If that is the greatest ick that you've ever gotten from a guy, you need to go outside and kiss grass.
And like I said, it's about a 20-minute drive back to my house. The first thing this guy does is look at me and ask if I had done stuff with other people before. Obviously, I had had a boyfriend the previous year, so I told him, yes, I have. And he said, oh, that's okay, I won't judge you. Oh my god, if I didn't dislike him before, I really hated him now. So now I'm pissed, I'm driving fast because I want to get home as quick as possible, and that is when hits the fan. He starts spilling these extremely dark inner thoughts to me, talking about how he's the next Mark Zuckerberg, hello Silicon Valley, how he's this like secret genius that's yet to be discovered. I'm like, what is going on right now? He starts talking about how he doesn't feel emotion like normal people do, and when someone around him falls or hurts themselves or looks sad, he asks them if they're okay just because he knows that's the right thing to do and not because he actually cares.
So a sociopath or a psychopath, I can't remember the difference, but he's one of them. I take back what I said. At first I'm like, oh, maybe he's just never had a girlfriend and he's a nerd, and you just say sorry because it's what they want to hear.
This man is starting to sound like a sociopath. Then he tells me he loves doing acid and mushrooms because they make him feel something inside. This man had never mentioned any of this to me before. So now there's a total freak in my car. I am so scared and I'm still driving at night. I finally get home and I'm just praying that this guy gets out of my car. Before he gets out, he turns to me and he's like, hey, don't ghost me, please. I was like, fully knowing I was going to run home and then block his number. He gets out of my car a street over where his car is parked, and I literally screamed to myself in the car, drive, drive, because I was so scared. Then he banged on the hood of my car and I literally shrieked. Opened the door again and I was like, dude, what do you want? He was like, oh, I think I left my phone in the car. Bullshit. He had it in his hand the whole time. Don't even ask me what that was about. Again, literally sprinted home, locked the door behind me, and I was like, I'm never seeing this man again. He texted me the next day asking if he could come over because he thought he left his wallet in my car. He definitely did not because I cleaned out my car and I didn't find anything. So I was like, no. And then I blocked him. That was such a scary experience. I was like, I am never downloading a dating app again. Never going out with a stranger like that. And I thanked my lucky stars that I got out of that alive.
So he's not the next Zuckerberg, but he is probably a sociopath that is in society right now and probably dating somebody out there or in prison or 6 feet under. That's actually really scary to think of. The thing with either sociopaths or serial unalivers, any of those sorts, majority of them are very friendly. Not this story, but they're your everyday type of people that you see that look innocent. That's the scary part, because growing up you're told about monsters and strangers and you have like this vision in your head of what that person may look like, literally just a monster, like a cartoon evil monster, but it's regular people. It could be a person at the grocery store that helped you with your cart. It could be a person who checked you out at the grocery store. It could be somebody that just said, hi, how are you? They could be stalking you, right? Okay, I'm trying not to scare you, but it literally could be anybody. And they're just out here roaming the streets like it's nobody's business.
Let me tell you about the worst date I have ever been on in my entire life. I met this man on Bumble, and we talked on the phone for probably like a week before the date came to fruition. He had been like calling and FaceTiming me, which like me personally, I like that. I know that you're real now. I know that you're like actually a young man now, like we're chilling. So like I prefer that. But first red flag, introduced me to his mom on FaceTime like 2 days into knowing each other and hadn't even met yet. So the day of the date came, and if I don't feel fully confident in like my safety with you, I'm not giving you my address. So he really wanted to pick me up, and I was like, no, like we can meet somewhere and then I'll get in your car. Like, I'm not giving you my address. So we met at a local grocery store. He was late. I was like on the phone with my sister, like, oh my God, I'm nervous. He's late, whatever. And then I see a truck pulling up near me, and the person in the truck doesn't look like the man on the Bumble profile. So I say to my sister, I'm like, oh, like I fear I got catfished. Like, I see how it could be the same person, but like, I think the Bumble photos probably were like at least 10 years ago. Like they were probably like high school photos, and this is now a grown adult man.
That is absolutely creepy. And I fear I will not be stepping foot into your car and going on a date with you because that is strange. I've seen people using their old photos for not just dating sites, but also on Facebook or Instagram. And I don't know, it cringes me. Because why are you doing that? And then worse, if you're gonna be pursuing somebody, why are you using your old photos? That's always a red flag in my eyes. Don't do that.
Who no longer looks like that. So I am not like I'm not like a shallow looks matter person. Like I really do value personality more. So to me, I'm like, okay, you look a little bit different from your photos, but like you seem nice. I'm not gonna just be like, ew, you don't look like what you said you look like. Bye. Hindsight, probably should have, because like starting off with a lie is probably not the best idea. Now we immediately move into a second lie because we had talked about like values and like personality things, and he had told me that like he doesn't drink, he doesn't smoke weed, he doesn't smoke cigarettes, like he uses no substances. And I'm like, oh, okay, awesome. Like same, like I drink socially, but like I don't smoke anything. I also hate being around like cigarette smoke because I have asthma and it triggers my asthma. He gets out of his truck to like greet me and reeks of cigarettes, like actually reeks. He had told me that he smoked when he was younger and that he quit. But like the second he came near me, I was like, oh wow, all right, that's that smoke. So not even in the truck yet, and we're already at 2 lies. If me now were there, I would have not gone on the date. But there were a lot of lessons that I hadn't learned yet at that point, and so I continued to get in the truck. Now, this is where it gets interesting because the pre-plan date was to go to Raising Cane's, and there was not a Raising Cane's anywhere near us. We had to drive an hour and a half into a different state to get the Raising Cane's.
Pause. This was the past. We're glad she's here. For anybody watching this, if you are young, single, and turned, actually, you don't even have to be young. If you're single watching this video, just know, don't go to another city or another state with somebody you don't know and is already showing you signs of red flags. That is so dangerous. I can't emphasize that enough. At that point, you're sacrificing yourself. Just step outside into the highway and say, pick me, traffickers, or any of that sort, because that's exactly what you're doing. Pick me, serial unalivers. I am the person you are looking for because I have no social awareness. Pick me up. Pick me up. I'm making light of the situation, but it's so dangerous, y'all. Man.
Now, this wasn't that weird to me because I do this with my friends all the time, but like in hindsight, doing this with a man I met on the internet that I do not know maybe wasn't my same.
Yeah, that's totally different. You're going out of town with your friends, people that you've known for a while, that you trust and love, and you know won't do anything to harm you, compared to somebody that you've never met a day in your life, don't know any history about them, don't even know their actual name, their last name, where they actually live, if this is even their car, if this is even them. Yeah, that's totally different.
So he starts driving toward Ohio because that's where the Raising
Ohio! I'm sorry. If you live in Ohio, there's a lot of things that... What doesn't happen in Ohio if you live there? I'll wait. I'm kidding. If you live in Ohio, just be safe. If you live anywhere, just be safe. But Ohio, just be safer. I've heard too many stories. I'm tired of Ohio.
The whole time in the car, he's like yapping about himself. He acknowledges the smoke and he's like, I'll quit for you. Like, I'll quit for you. And I'm like, bro, we met 5 minutes ago. Like, what do you mean? So he is like asking me questions, but also he talked a lot about himself. It seemed like he was really trying to like impress me, which I think we all do that on dates, obviously. So like, I'm not judging for that, but like, it also just, I was just like, all right, I get it. Like you're hyping yourself up. This is where it takes a turn for the worst, okay? Up until now, it was decently normal. We got to Cane's, we ate our food, he did pay. We finished eating, we got in the truck to go back home. Again, that hour and a half drive, we were just like talking. I was pretty checked out at this point. I had a general idea of like, I knew that I wasn't interested in this man in that way. And we get back to the area where my car is, and then suddenly he's like, I don't want this date to end. Like, I'm having so much fun. I really like you. Like, I want to keep hanging out with you. And I was like, like, I should probably get going. Like, it's getting late. I have to work tomorrow, yada, yada, yada. And he was not picking up what I was putting down. So he pulls out his phone while he's driving and buys movie tickets for right there at the movie theater. And I was like, what?
In the future, if someone does that, they can go ahead and do that. But it's not guaranteed that you're walking into the cinema with that person. And also at this time, call your loved ones and let them know what's happening and have them meet you at the cinema. Would I crash out there and then? Probably not. Sometimes you gotta play things smart. It depends on the situation, but overall, just trust your intuition and play things the smart way. Try to be calm as much as possible, because if you flip out, they'll flip out.
So he drives us to the movie theater. We get in there. There's no one else in the theater. He wasn't like creepy or inappropriate or anything. He like put his hand on my leg and that was like the extent of it. But when the movie ended, I stood up, as one does when the movie ends, and he like pulled me back down by my hand. And he's like, no, like, let's just be together. Like, let's just spend time together. And in my head, I'm like, what the actual living fuck? Like, the movie ended, like, let's go. I'm done. I'm over this. I want to go home. He sat in that theater until the employee came in and was like, we need you guys to leave. Like, we have to clean the theater. How long would he have sat there if that employee didn't come in? Like, I was so perplexed as to, and I was also like, that's embarrassing. I was embarrassed. I shit you not. We leave this movie theater and this man is like, oh, like, I just don't want this. Like, what else can we do? Like, I don't want it to. And I'm like, no, like, take me to my car. Like, I need to work tomorrow. Like, take me to my car. I didn't have to work tomorrow, but I was over it. Like, I'm done. This is the world's longest date. It's been like 6 hours at this point when you consider like the 1.5 hour drive both ways and then the 2 hour movie. Like, bro, like, that's enough. I'm fun and like I can carry a conversation, but like, come on, we're not gonna have a fucking 12-hour date. Like, I'm not doing that. So as he's driving me to my car, he's like, well, I have my work iPad in the back seat. Like, what if we like put the seats down and just like watch a movie in the truck? And I'm like, I'm not doing that. Like, absolutely not. Recipe for disaster. I'm not doing that. Take me to my car. We get to my car and I was about to like say goodbye and say thank you, and his phone rang and I thought he was gonna decline it. He answered the phone. It was a girl on FaceTime. And first of all, she was dropping the N-word and she should not have been. And then eventually they like played this game of like, she was like, who's in the car? And he's like, no one. And then he showed me on the FaceTime to this girl and she was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm his best friend. I didn't know he was with the girl, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, whatever. So he hangs up with this girl and I'm like, all right, I need to leave. And he's like, no, like, stay, blah. And I'm like, I'm leaving. I open the car door. Like, physically, I'm done. I'm out. I'm leaving. He gets out of the car. He walks around the car and lays across my lap. Lays on my lap, you guys. Lays on my lap. And is like, no, like, I don't.
Does he not have a home? There was too many red flags ignored in the story, and with each second, I'm feeling my patience wear thin, and I'm just like, coulda, shoulda, woulda. In situations like this, once you see the red flags, the first red flag not being the person that you saw in pictures, please keep it pushing. Keep it moving. I don't care how handsome, I don't care how beautiful you may think somebody is, they're not for you. They're beautiful from a distance. Admire them from a distance, but know that they're crazy. It's not worth it. It's not worth your time, because you won't get more time after they do something unexplainable to you, and they'll waste your time and they'll traumatize the rest of your time that you have on earth. And it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. Whatever the situation is, you're not crazy for ghosting that person. You're not crazy for ignoring that person. And I'm specifically saying that person instead of him or her, because this applies for both genders. Whether you're a man or a woman, the danger doesn't discriminate. Just be careful when you're out in these streets. I feel so bad for all the single people. Not too bad, actually. Not the single people. Those that are actively dating on Tinder, on Hinge, on Plenty of Fish, on Bumble, and all of that. Just use your discernment, trust your intuition, and don't fall for losers. Don't prioritize anybody that would never bat an eye on your safety.
And I'm so sad. I physically removed this man from myself. I physically removed him from my person, and I got out of the truck. And I was like, okay, I'm leaving now. Like, I get in my car. I immediately lock the doors because now I have skeevy vibes. And I'm like going to call my sister and I can see him in my peripherals, like waving at me. And I'm like, I crack my window. He cracks his window. He's like, hey, do you want your Raising Cane's leftovers? To which I'm like, you know what? Hell yeah. Because, like, I went through that disaster date for 7 hours of my life. The least I deserve is my fucking chicken tenders. So he brings me the box. I say goodbye. He tries to carry on business as normal and, like, call me that night. And I didn't answer. But I'm not, like, someone who would ever ghost a person. So I basically just sent a text like, hey, like, thank you for the date. Thanks for everything. But, like, I just don't think that, like, it's the vibe. And then, yeah, we never ever spoke again. And I think that definitely goes down in history as the worst date I've ever been on.
That is absolutely insane. You let a lot of things slide, but then again, you live and you learn. We're grateful that you're alive to tell the story and warn other people.
My friend went on a date last night that was so brutal that I had to bring it to TikTok immediately, mostly because it's a funny story, but also as a warning to the women in Toronto that this man is walking our streets, ladies. I'm going to preface this by saying my friend is very good looking and not insecure. She meets a guy on Hinge and she vets him. They talk on the phone every day for a week. They FaceTime, whatever. And then eventually they decide to go out for dinner. Last night, they go to Myth. Everything's going well, except when they sit down, there's a table of girls next to their table, and the guy keeps talking to the table of girls. Gets to the point where every time my friend goes to the bathroom, the guy is over at the girls' table, or one of the girls is over at her table. It happens multiple times, and one of the girls says to my friend, oh, you're so hot, don't worry about this. Meaning, you're so hot, don't worry that the guy you're on a first date with is talking to this table of girls and at their table every time you take a pee. It's multiple times, and then the guy says to my friend, sorry, those girls are just pumping my tires, as in complimenting me so much. Like, eventually he goes, are you mad? And she's like, I just think it's strange on a first date to not just say, thank you, ladies, but I'm on a first date, and not for anything, but like those girls are kind of whack too, because why would you go up to a table of a girl on a date with a guy and just hit on the guy all night? That's insane. Every time she goes to the bathroom, like go and sit with him or make him come sit with you. Like that's
One, how many times is your girl going to the bathroom? Secondly, those are not girls. Those are haters. Those are people that don't care for anybody else but themselves, looking for attention. And he is just as bad as those girls. They're all just tugging at each other's egos and trying to make somebody else feel bad or insecure about a situation. I don't know how the story ends, but it's giving, draining, and your friend should probably just leave. That's the majority of my resolutions. Just leave, bro. Just step out. When you go to that bathroom next time, make sure it's actually towards the exit door to the bathroom at your house, and never see him again.
And bizarre too. But anyway, they get in a miniature fight. They get over it. He goes, let me drive you home. She's like, okay. Get in the car, and he goes, it's so funny how mad you got when those girls were hitting on me. And she's like, yeah, sorry. I think it's crazy you were talking to them. And he goes, you didn't even thank me for dinner. She's like, yeah, maybe I forgot to thank you for dinner because I was too busy wondering what the was going on. And then he brings up something else. Like he's trying to fight with her. And then she goes, you know what, man, I don't even know you. I'm not doing this with you. Just let me out here. They're like on the side of the highway. Like they're at Queens Quay and Jarvis. Like she gets out at the Loblaws, calls an Uber. The Uber takes 17 minutes to come. So by the time the Uber's there, she's like crying. She gets in the car. The Uber driver's like, oh my God, are you okay? Uber driver literally comforts her the whole way home. Like, is just like, tell me what happened. God bless Uber drivers and cab drivers. I used to be an Uber driver, and the people would tell me in my Uber, grown men crying about their divorces. It's crazy. Anyway, Uber driver takes her home, walks her to her door. It's like, don't worry, this ride was on me. Your night was bull. And that guy. A, never use paying for dinner against someone on a date. Just don't go on a date then if you don't like that custom. B, if you need the girls at the next table to gas your tires while you're already on a date with a hot girl to feel like a fuck man, I can't help you. That's just insecurity. And he said to my friend, oh, you're just insecure. Like gaslit her. No, she's not. She's the hottest fucking loser.
If anything, when it comes to that story, he's insecure. Who's to know if though he knew those girls and they planned that all along? It's just boring. It's grow up. Life is not meant to be lived like this. Get some balls and grow the heck up. And in this situation, it has nothing to do with being insecure. Even if she was insecure, it's all about respect. It's the principle. And he couldn't even respect that. And I'm glad that they're not together, because that is a douchebag that needs not to date. not until he gets his act together and gets the help that he actually needs. And kudos to that Uber driver, considering my last video. If you haven't watched it, go ahead and go watch it. Not all Uber drivers are built the same, and honestly, I probably would have tipped him, and I probably would have insisted on paying regardless of him just being so kind. I just want to take the moment to say thank you so much to all my anti-Delulu Den members for rocking with me, showing me love, and giving me incredible suggestions, which you guys will be seeing the changes sooner than later. For my members, we're gonna continue watching 2 or 3 videos, and for everybody else, I'll see y'all next time.